coming up in this episode of Professional Jealousy.
I started out as an awful boss. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue how to manage people. We're so tired of Vogue-like perfection on Instagram. It's like saying you don't have jealousy. It's just not who we are. We're emotional creatures. We're animals. We're humans. He looked at me, I'll never forget this, and he said, "You have the same strategy that I do." And I said, "Oh yeah, what's that?" He goes, "You follow the FIO strategy. You say yes, then you figure it out later."
Hello, I'm Natasha Jakubowski, and this is my podcast, Professional Jealousy, where I talk to people that I'm impressed by and, yes, just a little bit envious of. I'm hoping that you too will enjoy hearing about all their enviable achievements that we can all learn from and be inspired by. Today, I am talking to Liv Schreiber, founder of Camp Social, described as summer sleepaway camp for adults. It's really hard not to be impressed by Liv, who has just done so much before even hitting 30. It makes me makes me feel like an underachiever. Not only did she start Camp Social, but she also founded a startup called Hot and Social, a social community that hosts meetup events where people in their 20s and 30s can make new friends. She's also had her own marketing and social media agency. She's a businesswoman, an influencer, and fabulous. Hello, Liv.
Natasha, can you just say that every time I walk into a room?
Every time. Amazing. Thank you for joining me.
You're lovely. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to hear more about you as well and to talk all things business.
I know. So for anyone that doesn't know your brand, can you give us the elevator pitch for Camp Social?
Absolutely. Imagine you're an adult and 1 in 3 adults are lonely, and you're resonating with that statistic and you feel like time's up. You haven't met a new friend in forever. You haven't reconnected to who you were as a child in forever. You're feeling stuck in the mundane. You want to get out of your daily routine. You need something fresh, and it's not a new boyfriend or a husband. It's a girlfriend, but you don't know how to make friends in adulthood because you're in your 60s or 70s or 50s or 20s or 30s or 40s, and all of a sudden you come across something that says Camp Social. So you click on it, you open it, and you sign up for 3 days and 2 nights in the Poconos. It is a sleepaway camp weekend retreat where we take care of everything for you, from the planning to the activities to who you're rooming with. You will leave the weekend with tons of new friends and feeling like yourself again. And that's my mission.
My gosh. It's just, yes, so amazing. I have so many questions. You're definitely, there's the whole trend of loneliness and people needing friendships IRL is so of the moment. And I have to say, when I saw it, I was like, I want to go on that. But then I saw you can't go with friends. You have to go solo. Is that right?
Yeah, so our tagline is 99% arrive solo and 100% leave as friends. And Natasha, I created that for myself because I never thought any of this would turn into what it has. I was just a girl who owned a marketing agency, influencer, and I just wanted to go back to camp. So in order to make friends at a baseline level, I believe that you have to show up as your best self. And what does that look like? It means showing up solo, because you don't have that wall up that you have when a friend is with you and you're both going out socially, where you're babysitting her, she's babysitting you. So yes, the rule is 99% arrive solo, although I will tell you, I won't kick you out if you come with a mom or a best friend or a sister or a cousin, which many have.
Okay, but it works better. It's just such an amazing idea. What was the trigger? Like, when did you think, actually, I'm going to make this a business?
In May of 2023, and I had my first camp in August.
So tell me about your women. I was surprised when you started out with like the 60s and 70s. Like who, or do you have a few different, like who is your consumer? Like, do you use personas? Who is she?
It is mind-boggling when I tell people this, but women of every age, 21 plus, is our consumer. We have every single age range represented. Every single age feels comfortable. And the women who are coming in their 20s who want to hang out with, women of all ages, they are emotionally mature. They're doing something solo that's scary and on their own. So these aren't just your average 20 to 40 to 60-year-olds. These are women who want to connect with other people. It's not as much about age as it is about having youthfulness in your heart and a mature old spirit.
Yeah. I feel like so many women feel like they, lose friendships, especially uh, as they get older. Um, what are the sorts of things that you do to encourage friendships, or you find that they just happen? Like, what kind of activities are you doing? Like, how are you setting this up?
I'm constantly tinkerbelling around the room so that I can see two people next to each other and immediately say, hey, you guys should be friends as well as my team. But aside from that, what my responsibility is creating these activities that foster that connection. I don't want it to feel like the first grade on the first day of school. I want it to feel elevated. So that the challenge, Natasha, is how do you do that with grown women? And it's pretty simple. You let them choose. You let them flock to each other. You let them navigate their friendships based off the activities they choose. So if you're choosing rock climbing, you're going to inherently meet amazing women who also love rock climbing. If you're choosing arts and crafts or tie-dye, you're going to meet the type of women who love to do those things, regardless of age, background, ethnicity, where they're from. You're just grouping together based off your shared interests, and that's what Camp Social does.
Interesting. Um, would you say you're an extrovert?
I'd say I'm a level above extrovert.
So I mean, it's interesting. So I would say that I am probably an introvert that plays social. So like, I think most people think that I like hanging out and I'm a social person, but really I'm not. That's why I do things like this, because I can control it one on one. What are your yeah, how do you help people who aren't naturally extrovert, people that are a little more inward focused? Like, what are your ways of
Of
bringing
course.
people out? Because I feel like there are loads of people, not just in, their personal life, but at work, thinking about how do we how do we fake it till we make it, and be more kind of confident, social, etc.
So I think the answer is you really don't have to fake it. We have so many women with social anxiety. I mean, who are you if you don't have anxiety after COVID going out socially? You're crazy. If you don't have social anxiety, you're crazy. It's like saying you don't have jealousy. It's just not who we are. We're emotional creatures, we're animals, we're humans. And to feel those feelings and anxiety, thank goodness, it means we're alive. So I'm really grateful for social anxiety, because what we do is we're able to create these intimate spaces where women can go to book club, they can go read a book on the lake, they can go take a stroll. Nothing is forced, nothing is a stressed activity that everyone has to do. Even our most fun camp social games, the Olympics, are optional. And by giving people an option, it's really just saying to them, hey, listen, we see you. And you may not like the things that the person next to you likes. And that's cool.
What's been the hardest thing creating this business? Like, how did you fund it? How did you actually get it up and running?
One more thing I want to touch on for the introvert part is we provide private rooms and bathrooms, which I think is just important to note.
Yeah.
So, women, if you want to be in a bunk with 8 other women from around the world your age, you can. But if you'd like to be apart and have your own space at Camp Social, you can reserve a private room, which
Okay.
is also an introvert's dream.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. I feel like then they're never gonna come out. No. Um,
No, they do. No one wants to be in their rooms. And Camp Social is funded by me. Um, after we were featured in the Wall Street Journal and on Fox News, I got a lot of VC emails and meetings and questions. And honestly, I don't need it. I will work as hard as I can to fund my business, and I don't have interest in giving up a percentage at this time.
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, an amazing position to be in. Take me back. Like, you leave college, And then what, I mean, like, you've done so much stuff. Give me a quick overview of like your journey. Or did it start
Your
before college?
your red lip and your black shirt are very good contrast.
I
There's just
think I might have smeared it slightly over my lips, but yeah, thank
you're making me want a red lip. What the heck? In college, I tried everything, Natasha, and this is what I recommend to anyone going to college is, like, don't leave being curious about anything. I I DJ'd. I took a DJing course. I had my own radio show. I learned how to scuba dive. I was in a sorority. I got kicked out of a sorority. I went abroad. I did fashion club. I did a runway like, there's just so much that you can possibly, um, try and do and so many people to meet. So I went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I studied journalism, but I graduated early, and the only things I remembered were my Holocaust class, which was so incredible, by a teacher named Rachel Brenner, and my, journalism class where they would give us a pop quiz every morning on world events, news, and headlines. And the whole class had to race against each other to get the answers right to these quizzes. And it taught me how to pay attention to headlines and how to consume a 3-page article into a headliner. So those are two things I'll never forget. But my recommendation too is try things outside of the classroom. I was throwing parties because I realized that I liked throwing events. And
Yeah.
so that was my first foray into what I do now.
And then you really have kind of, I feel like you're kind of an era. I definitely, it's interesting. Been starting the podcast, trying to figure out social and stuff. Like you are in it. You are a proper influencer, social savvy, socially native. Um, like, how did you kind of find your way and start, moving into that space, or you
Can I
just
tell you something? I used to listen to podcasts where everyone pretended they had it all together and they're all perfect. Let me tell you, no one knows what they're doing, Natasha. Absolutely no one. And I get on social media every day. And the only reason I've grown is because I'm just genuinely who I am. Like, I'm not pretending to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people resonate with. And I love connecting with real humans. And that's why I started my businesses, because social media and the influencer world can be very topical and very fake. Um, so I've used it as an outlet for positivity and for sharing my family and my dad and my friends, who then, if you come to Camp Social, you meet my mom, my dad, anyone else who's a workout instructor who I fly into camp, who I've tested out and posted about. So it all just feels like family.
Okay. But so I work with lots of big brands who are desperately trying to, do well in social. Like, what advice do you have for brands that are trying to connect and create community and, engage people? Is it because it's hard to be yourself, authenticity,
Right.
obviously. But like any other thoughts on how you
Yes. And, you're going to laugh because this is very much Camp Social, but, Dunkin' was our caffeine sponsor. Soothies was our cough drop sponsor. Tampon Tribe were our organic tampons. When I bring that up, I'm talking about brands that are investing in community,
Mhm.
brands that are willing to put themselves out there, to put product in goodie bags, to pay for custom activations where we can have a Dunkin' X Camp Social truck giving coffee to the consumers. The way that Dunkin' and brands can pay attention is simply by investing in the people who invest in them and not just investing in influencers. And you're in my influencer closet. Influencers get sent a lot of stuff every single day, but they are not the consumer. Sure, they're audiences, but they are not the ones buying. So I think the real progress and the real success comes from brands investing in experiences like Camp Social to reach a broader audience.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like in-person events are definitely feel like they're coming back as people are, reacting to the AI slop and just the
Uh,
disconnection. How do you market?
all on social media,
Like,
all on
literally,
TikTok and
what do you do?
Instagram.
So TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram, and then I have a weekly newsletter that I send out. Um, but for our TikTok social media teams, what we really emphasize at Hot and Social and Camp Social is showcasing our customer. So we do Hot and Single of the week. I own the trademark Hot and Single, which is our Hot and Single series, where we show singles in New York City of all ages, and then we connect them. I have 3 marriages under my belt. One of them being my best friend, which we just got back from her wedding, so I'm very proud of that. But I think the answer is showing real people and showing real emotion. We're so tired of Vogue-like perfection on Instagram, and you'll notice as you scroll through your explore pages, the videos that do the best are those genuine moments, that are happening across the world, so we're just looking to foster that.
Yeah, interesting. Because so with your different brands, so Hot and Social, Camp Social, it's almost like an entertainment and events and media slash relationship. It's a super interesting model. Who are your competitors? Because you kind of have dating apps versus
Mhm.
events and hospitality. Like who do you compete with?
I don't really compete with anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be people who come up and that good for them. I wish them well. Um, but I am not looking to sell a dating app. I've been approached to partner with dating apps, but this is about in-person connection.
Yeah.
And then we've been approached by all the AI, things, but this is about in person. Honestly, Natasha, it's just about being in person and having meaningful conversations and looking up from our phones, and somehow this is revolutionary in 2025,
Yeah.
but I promise you it's really simple.
Yeah, that's amazing. And where do you see the brand going? Like, is it going into more locations,
Mhm.
global, experiential
Yes.
holidays and
So while the concept is simple, the business is a business, and we had over 100 staff on grounds at Camp Social, so that, operational aspect is something that has grown over time. I mean, we've tripled in size year after year. This is the first year I had 2 camp socials, with complete separate brand partners, complete separate attendees. So now we're really looking at expanding to more camps next year, as well as retreats, international retreats, and more intimate travel as well. Um, I'd like to look into a space that, you know, offers
Mm.
travel to 50 campers instead of hundreds of campers so that I can really foster an experience that's different and stands out. We also have a crazy retention rate.
Mhm.
We have over 400 people in a group chat
Yeah.
who talk every day in a group chat where we offer different discounts, and we're soon looking to offer a camp social club. So we're really excited about the expansion and how we're fostering these connections throughout the year so that the girls can continue to meet each other in their cities, even if they haven't met at camp.
Yeah. It's almost like a membership
Yes.
with potential chapters. Yes, amazing.
Stay tuned.
Um, I'm a brand strategist. I'm just always curious, how do you articulate? Do you have like a brand strategy? Do you
Yes.
how yeah, what's your brand strategy?
For the sorry, this sounds so silly, but is my brand are you asking about my brand strategy for Camp Social or for the brands that we work with?
For Camp Social.
So The strategy is really simple. I think it's just to make people feel less alone.
Yeah.
And when you come from a true, authentic place, staying up until 2:30 a.m. last night doesn't feel like work. And if anyone is listening who wants to start a business, I really recommend doing something that you would do even if you weren't getting paid, because that true passion is what's going to get you through. My brand strategy is connected to my own personal moral compass,
Yeah.
and I love people. And I just know that my purpose on this earth is to connect people. And that hopefully when I die, thousands and thousands and thousands of women can say that they met a best friend or someone really important to them through me. And that to me is a winning life.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, you've figured this out. You've figured out your purpose pretty early, which is amazing. I definitely feel like I'm still like, what am I meant to be doing?
But
Um,
you know what, Natasha? Every day it's just about, like, being more you, and I love getting older every year. Like, I don't we put so much stress on ourselves to find our one purpose. Like, uh, yes, I connecting people is my purpose, but there's also a million other little things that I love to do. So I would just let yourself feel free in exploring what that is and just have fun. Like, you just reverted to stress, not to call you out on your own podcast, but you just went to go stressed. You went to go stress about not finding your purpose. But look where we are. Look what we're recording. Look at what you're achieving, what you're doing, what you're editing, what you're setting out to do. That's purpose.
yeah, amazing. How do you
You're like, okay, next.
no, no, no. Yeah, I'm very English and repressed. So I'm like, yep, okay, we're gonna shove that down. Uh,
I have a lot of English
I
friends. I
know,
knew
I'm like,
exactly what you were doing.
I definitely should think about this at some point.
Call me later.
I know. I mean, honestly, I should go on. I mean, I
You
definitely,
should.
I feel like I would be
Oh,
out of
you
my
would
comfort
thrive.
zone, but it would be interesting. I spend a lot of time thinking about friends, actually. It's something that I've consciously, I think actually I only started really thinking about, oh, I have to really work on relationships like in my 40s, like late. I feel like I didn't need friends when I was younger because I'm working so hard. And so now I'm kind of course correcting. I was going to ask, as someone that is older, eh, how do you inspire and manage and keep your staff um engaged and on vision? And you seem like an amazing leader. Like I'm interested, especially as someone older, like how do you keep younger, like Gen Z employees, feeling like they're doing something good, like they want to carry on, like they're inspired? Like, talk to me about your kind of leadership style, because I can see it, but I'm just wondering how you articulate it.
Thank you. I started out as an awful boss. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue how to manage people, and anyone who doesn't start a sentence off just by saying that is crazy or really admirable, because I had to learn how to manage people. It did not come easily, especially when you're so emotionally invested in something.
Yeah.
And as women running companies, it's different than men running companies. It just is. And we're held at a different standard. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating the obvious. Um, you don't want to be seen as a bitch. You don't want to be seen as a pushover. You want there to be a fine balance. So how do you do that? I have really taken on leading my team as if they're all individual entrepreneurs. And that's actually how I look at them. Every single person has their own specialty. The most pivotal lesson I've learned is when I hire people, I treat them like they are the boss of whatever I hired them to do. So we set personal goals and rewards. if you're hitting 200,000 followers on Instagram, you get X. You're my boss. You tell me what to do because I hired you because you're the expert and I trust you. And in an age where we're rewarded for going off on our own, especially Gen Z, seeing how every single person has made their living on social media or TikTok by being themselves, you need to implement a system where they are proud of themselves. They feel like they're working for themselves. You're rewarding them and you're treating them as equals. I also make sure to never say they work for me. It's always we work together. They're on my
That
team. So it's the
good.
way that you
Beautiful.
even reference your team behind their back or in person or in front of them. That's really important because we are a team and we do work together. And trust me, they would be laughing at me if I tried to do half of what they do. So I really appreciate their expertise and their enthusiasm is incredible.
Yeah, so interesting. Making them feel like they are an entrepreneur with you. Um, a couple of things. What is what are some mistakes? Like, what are the things that actually don't don't do well that actually demotivate uh, teams that you've learned not to do? Are there any like big
Oh,
obvious
yeah.
things that
Oh my goodness, so many things. I think too many meetings is an absolute no. I also do like quick 15-minute meetings where uh, they can FaceTime me at any time or always texting if that's a vehicle that they prefer to communicate on.
Mhm.
If not, respecting boundaries is very important. We're in a day and age where texting people during the workday, communicating about work. You know how Apple, they all text each other. They text each other about meetings and progress and they're
Mhm.
FaceTiming. That's kind of how my business runs as well. Like we don't use Slack that often. And so it's really about making sure you're respecting boundaries and you're also making work easy for them. Do they really want to hop on an hour-long meeting when it could have been an email? No. And I don't want to hop on that either.
Yeah. You mentioned someone working for you getting to 200K in terms of followers. Is that part like describe to me your team? Like, is part of it about kind of sales or followings to grow your community?
Well, our social media is an incredibly important vehicle, and we rarely do paid advertising. I like for everything to be organic
Mhm.
because Facebook and Meta, if you're a business owner listening, is your best friend. They will help you target whoever you're looking to target organically based on the words and the keywords that you're posting. So if I'm writing single woman dating New York City, it's most likely going to appear on single women in New York City's pages, whether or not I pay for that to happen. So that's why it's really important for me to build legitimacy behind every social media platform that I'm building, showing that customers are leaving their testimonials, that our campers are sharing their true, authentic stories with their faces and their Instagram handles. It builds up this level of connection where you trust. It's like reading reviews.
Yeah.
You will buy an Amazon product because it has a bunch of great reviews. Same thing for an experience. When you're away from home and going to the woods of Pennsylvania, I think you deserve a few reviews.
It's funny. What's been uh, what's been the hardest thing about becoming increasingly visible as a founder? Or has that been good? Like, do you enjoy that part of it?
I I recognize that there are two sides to it. Um My grandpa was diagnosed with leukemia this summer, right before I got actually,
Yeah.
like, right as I was getting married and launching 2 camps all at the same time, and,
Mm.
it was difficult because, when you're walking on the streets of New York City and you get recognized or stopped, um, you want to engage at the highest level you can, um, But sometimes when you're dealing with things personally, I think it's a little bit difficult. Like if I want to cry on the street talking to my mom on the phone, I can't. Otherwise someone will message me and say, "Hey, Liv, I saw you crying on the street." And so that has been interesting. I feel honored. I feel honored. And on the other hand, I know that a lot of listeners probably expect me to say something about being hated or talked about. I don't really care about that. I've put myself out there, and people are allowed to not like me. They're allowed to think of me whatever they like. Um, I know what I'm doing, and I know the lives I'm helping, and I feel so confident in the friendships and the happiness that my team and I have been able to create, and that's what guides me through. So people are welcome to talk.
I mean, I think, yeah, it it's an amazing position to be in, but also it shows, so many things coming together. You're clear on what you feel you're meant to do, your purpose. You're obviously very confident. Um, and I think part of that comes from knowing that, really believing in what you're doing. Um, what are the hardest things about being a founder? Like what are I do feel like there's quite a kind of romance around being a founder. Like what do you wish that people realized about
I wish I knew that
actually
I need to take a shower,
yeah,
Natasha. I think when you're going into hospitality and events, you need to love people, okay? Like,
yeah,
and the end, we could end the podcast there because um, I'm a nonstop 24/7 customer service machine. And my mom and dad, they have a handbag company, and they used to have signs all around their office that said it takes months and years to find a customer and seconds to lose one. And humans are complex creatures. Someone coming to an event may be carrying weight that I didn't put on them, but it's there. And I see it, and I see it in how they interact with other people. And it's my responsibility to remove that baggage and make sure that they're having a fun time. Um, so I would say, if you're working with people, study psychology, study body language. I'm constantly looking at how people are turning their legs in interviews. I'm looking at how they cross their arms. I'm looking at how they touch their neck or their ear or their nose. There are different body cues
yeah,
that tell me more than anyone I'm meeting for the first time will ever tell me, and then I'm able to help guide them. I feel like that's a very female business owner answer to that question, but it's really about being in tune and in sync and wanting to help your consumer and make things right at all times.
yeah. I feel like because you must have had with all these uh people that you've had and hosted, presumably there's got to have been one or two times where someone was properly sad and lonely. How do you
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with the extremes of needing connect, like actually needing connection and being depressed or anxious? Like, how do you deal with that?
So it depends on the level. Um, it also depends on the support I have on hand at camp. So we have a care team and a cheer team. The care team is a bunch of incredible trained women who go around, and they're there to support our campers who may need a mother figure, and we're talking about women in their 20s to 60s, you
Yeah.
know, um, who may need just like a friend to talk to or need to check in. And that's completely normal and totally cool. That's why we have a care team and a medic on staff and all the above. And then we have a cheer team. So a bunch of women who are there to hype you up, to help you get around, to bring you around singing and dancing. Same thing for Hot and Social, my events in New York City. We constantly have people checking in and there to cheer you on. Now, it's not our responsibility to send someone to a mental health professional or to take those steps for them.
Hmm.
But what we're able to do is welcome them with open arms. And most of the attendees that come are so intentional about getting a ticket and being there. There's a wait list. We have a 60,000 person wait list. So if you're dying to come to an event, you're showing up and you're ready. You're ready to rock. So we're grateful.
All right. What's your social? You're a definitely, people person, and you do all this, like, you're a founder working on this 24/7. But what do you do personally to work on your own kind of growth and groundedness and stay sane? Like, what are things you do for yourself?
Oh, I love hanging out with my family. And my new husband, I just keep calling him my new husband 'cause I don't have
Congratulations.
an old one, but I'm excited.
That would be
Um
impressive. 3 companies and multiple husbands. So, yeah,
Yes, I would marry him again in a heartbeat. He's the best, and, he's a lawyer, so I have a lot of fun every night when he gets home, when I get home. He'll talk to me about his day, I'll talk to him about my day, and there's such complete different days. It is just it is so cool to see what other people choose to do in their 9 to 5s, and then we both get to work until, like, midnight, and it's the perfect scenario. Um, or I'll be posting something, he'll hear me from another room, and he'll be like, "Liv, don't do that, don't say that," he's just the best. Um, I love hanging out with my family and my best friends and exploring New York City and trying on different outfits for my, followers on Instagram who I love so much. I just, um I'm, like, recharged by human connection. I've gone to church. I'm Jewish. I've gone to church with, one of the women in my community. Like, if someone asks me or invites me to go somewhere, I'll do it. Like, I want social media to be social, and it's so refreshing and really fun.
amazing. All right. Tactical question. How do you, especially when you work so hard and you have so many friends, how do you keep, presumably you have thousands of friends and a core of closer, but like, how do you make time for people? How do you make sure that you stay connected and keep relationships? This is definitely a very personal
Yes.
question. I'm like, how do I
No, no,
make
no, I
sure
love
I
it.
keep all my friends versus
Yes.
lose? Because I feel like I don't have enough time with kids and work and
Right. And I don't have kids yet, so I'm lucky. God bless me when I do.
yeah.
Um, you know, my mom and dad, both working parents, they always taught me that you schedule it on the spot. So when I'm hanging out with a friend, I immediately go to my calendar, my Google Calendar, and I say, okay, when are we hanging out next? It makes the other person feel wanted, especially if it's a newer friend and you're just getting coffee and you're like, okay, so do you want to do Pilates next week? And you get it on the calendar. That way you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. I also pin my best friends or people in my life who may need a little bit extra support to the top of my text messages.
Mhm.
So I see them nonstop and I set daily alarms to call 3 people off the top of my head that I'm thinking of. Because I can't preach friendship without also being a friend. And so it's really hard, but it's really important and so fulfilling to do those they're little hacks and they're easy.
Oh my God, I'm going to do both those things.
Mhm.
Yeah, so simple that I'm like, "Oh my God, of course." All right, we're gonna
No,
go
but it's not
through.
that simple.
No,
It's
I know,
really
it
not that
takes
simple.
intention and time but yeah, I think those are great. Um, all right, we're gonna go to the last kind of quick fire, section. Um, although what before we go there, what are your hopes and dreams? Like, what do you see for your future? Like, what are you planning? What are your goals near and long term?
My my goals for the next year, I like to work by year. I'd say my goals for the next year are to make Camp Social, Hot and Social known to as many people as possible through expansion to other cities, other retreats, and by making people feel like they're not weird for wanting something different in their lives and wanting a new relationship in their lives. That's just human instinct. And for some reason, we've been taught that phone screens are our best friends, when in reality, we're all discovering that they are the least fulfilling things we hold in our hand all day. And we need to use them as tools to connect. So that's what I hope to do.
Amazing. All right, quick fire. Do you have any good icebreakers for when
Yes.
you meet new people?
Give a compliment, a genuine compliment, and then follow up on it. Oh my gosh, I love your lipstick. Where did you get it? What shade is that? When did you go? When did you discover it? What other brands do you use? Where should I go? What do you think would be good on my face? There, we're
Oh my
friends.
God, amazing. Um, Best career advice, worst career advice you've ever had?
Worst career advice I ever got was from my mom. My mom said, "Stop posting on social media." And I did. I stopped posting in high school, but I knew it was the future. And I love her so much, though. And we DM each other back and forth all day long. So I love you, Mom. And then the best career advice I ever got was also from my mom. um, and she's just always encouraged me to follow my gut and also to be like a horse with blinders on. Stay in your lane, stay focused on what you're creating. When you, as a horse running a race, go to look at another horse and see what they're doing and how far ahead they are, you lose your spot in the race. And that has always helped me a lot because I'm just focused on how I can improve instead of checking out what everyone else is doing.
You're so entrepreneurial. As I mentioned, I have two kids, a 13 and a 15-year-old. What do you think? Why, is there something in your upbringing that your parents did to make you so driven? What advice? How can I make sure that my kids have your entrepreneurial kind of drive?
First of all, I will have your kids over. Kyle and I can take
You
care
can,
of
you
them
can
for a
have
week.
my 13-year-old daughter, definitely.
Are you kidding? I'd be best friends with her in 2 seconds. We could go
I
shopping
know
in my
that. I know
closet.
that.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm forcing you into that. So good luck coming to New York without coming to see me. Um, well, you're in Soho, but you know what I mean. Um, I would say, you know, growing up, number one, I was taught, I think, to have gratitude every day. I'm just really grateful. I'm I'm like I said, I'm Jewish and I'm a woman. Women didn't have the rights to own businesses or even have their own financials until the late 1900s,
Yeah.
mid to late 1900s. And for that, I'm ever so grateful. And being Jewish too, my family is a family of Holocaust survivors. Most of my family did not make it out. So the fact that I am here to continue to build on a legacy to shine light on other people, that is a responsibility I have, and I owe it to the people who came before me. And then the last thing that's more lighthearted is we used to play really fun games growing up, my twin brother and I, where our parents would sit us down and they'd give us paper. This is a menu from one of our hot and social dinners. They'd give us paper and a pen and they'd say, "Okay, guys, we want you to invent." And then they'd give us two separate words. So my mom would say butter and my dad would say car, and invent the butter car. And we'd have to sketch it and pitch it and draw it and invent it. And we were constantly playing these games as kids where we were just like excited
Yeah.
and competitive, and also watching them work so hard
Amazing.
and being taught that work is fun. Like, I watch my mom and my grandma work their butts off and they love it. So it's a privilege.
Amazing. What qualities make a good host?
Recognizing everyone in the room, recognizing people who may not be having fun and doing something to fix it immediately, and setting the tone. When you're hosting a party, you're the bride. and people are looking to you. And if the bride is stressed, everyone becomes stressed.
Funny.
So leak.
What do you think I mean, I think it's relatively obvious, but what do you think your superpowers are that have helped you be successful?
Uh, I don't really know, honestly. I think my superpower is just like really loving what I do.
Yeah.
I really, really love waking up and I feel really grateful. I have an autoimmune disease, so there was a year where I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk. I was on crutches. I was 25. I didn't know what was going on, and I'm an athlete. Like it was
Yeah.
stress driven. It was
Gosh.
rheumatoid arthritis. Um, and so I just feel like this sense of gratitude to get to work. I remember what it was like working in real estate with no windows and miserable at one of my first jobs. And to get to work every day the way I want to is a real privilege.
Yeah, amazing. Um, what is there anything that you're trying to get better at?
Every day, everything.
Yeah.
I think when you stop improving and innovating, you're dead. You might as well be. You gotta, I mean, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I think it's so important to constantly be working on your body, on listening to new music, on taking new routes to work, on innovating. I treat every day like I'm a camper, which is why Camp Social makes so much sense. But I really am like my own camp director of my life, and I make it fun. It's not just fun and in front of me. I take it like clay and I mold it every day, and it's my responsibility. So everyone can do that, and you'll see how much better your life is when you just try to improve all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the one of the things that I've noticed with everyone I've spoken to is there is this element of just going for it. Like,
Mhm.
and I think I'd say one of your superpowers is just being optimistic and just going for it. Like you don't question stuff, you don't procrastinate, you're excited and you just go for it. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't have naturally, and they just need to think, what have you got to lose? You know?
Mm. You
Uh,
know, I'm really thank you. I'm really grateful for that. I also think it's the FIO strategy. If anyone is struggling with it, I am mentored by this couple, Sarah Blakely. Actually, I have her
oh,
mug right here.
amazing.
Sarah and Jesse Itzler. And when I was 21, I started out as their stylist, and I claimed I was a stylist. I was not a stylist, okay? And in the elevator I was in with Jesse, he looked at me, I'll never forget this, and he said, "You have the same strategy that I do." I said, "Oh, yeah? What's that?" He goes, "You follow the FIO strategy." I said, "What's that?" He said, "You say yes, then you figure it out later."
Yeah.
And that's really what it is.
I mean, I just, to me, that's like the biggest revelation. I mean, like, people don't try they just don't let themselves, they get so worried about stuff. They just need to say yes and try, figure
But
it
can I
out.
tell you something? Like, I've failed at a million things. I fail every day. I reach out to hundreds of venues, brands, people, things. Let's just talk about failure for a second. I fail every day. I get more no's than I get yeses. I have things going wrong. I have things not working. There's a ton of stuff that goes wrong every day
Mhm.
for every single person that runs a business. But we're fine. We're breathing. We're okay. And if anything, honestly, it's a little sick and twisted, but I get more joy out of like fixing something than I do out of something going perfect. Like, I don't know what it is, but stuff goes wrong, failure happens. I'm still breathing. Who cares? Get over it, fail again.
Amazing. All right. Last question. Tell me about someone or something that you're professionally jealous of.
Natasha, do you think I'm crazy?
No, I think you're amazing.
And
Go on.
Natasha, I think I've been so unhinged this whole interview. I'm a little nervous. Oh, a little nervous, like a little, oh, okay. Scared to listen to this one. I am professionally jealous of Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He's amazing. Oh my gosh. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm professionally jealous of him is because he takes it a step further, that to a level where I hope to one day be. Like, he does these interviews on the news, and he'll take a video of himself in the studio wearing pajama pants with, like, a tie on top, and I just think it is such a cool it's not an FU, it's a simple, cool, calm, collected, "Hey, I'm authentically me on the news talking about finance in my pajamas, and they're not gonna kick me off air for just being who I am." It's a great lesson in just having chutzpah and in just, being smart, but also having humor and a sense of lightness, which is what Camp Social is all about.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, you would be fantastic on Shark Tank. Just saying.
One
Um,
day.
I unfortunately we've run out of time, but I'm so grateful for you to come on this. I know you're very busy. I think a lot of people are going to be super inspired and are just, need to start living by the FIO strategy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thanks so much for listening. Please do look at some of the other episodes we've done too. You can find them on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and professionaljealousy.com. Get in touch if you have any questions, feedback, or importantly, anyone you want to see featured. A quick thank you to the Unreasonable Studios and Shimmy Boyle, who we were definitely missing today. You can follow me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. And of course, please share, subscribe, write a review, all that stuff. Thank you.